What's up, guys? It's your boy Jesse. I cut my finger on a shard of glass, so don't mind the plaster that's on my finger. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the third video. I've got my do-rag on, looking cool as always. This is the third video on our new series that we're going through, which is called Fighting For. The first video on Monday, we saw Wesley speaking about fighting for purity, and yesterday, Pani chatted about fighting for your identity. Today, we're going to speak about fighting for godly relationships. I know when I say the word relationships, everybody's going to stop what they're doing and dial in because everybody likes to talk about the topic of relationships. What I'm speaking about it in relationships is not just a relationship between a guy and a girl in terms of dating, but also a relationship between you, your friends, your family, etc. A relationship goes over the narrative that we know of it just being between a guy and a girl. It's about a relationship with whoever that you're with. So we're speaking about fighting for a godly relationship. So before we get into it, I'm just going to read this passage of scripture that is for us today, which is 1 Peter 4 verse 8, which says, love each other deeply because love covers a multitude of sins. So we're speaking about the L word, yes, love, which is something which scripture speaks about a ton of times. So we're just going to break down. So what I like to do usually is breaking down things. So godly relationships. So let's start with the word godly. What do you guys think the word godly means? Godly, just in the simplest form, is anything that glorifies God, okay? And a relationship, which seems like an easy thing to define but very hard to explain. A relationship is your interaction with the people in your life. So if it's your mom, your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your cousins, that's your interaction with them and your journey as you walk with them. That's your relationship with them. And what we're speaking about is fighting for a godly relationship. I'm going to start with dating and being that type of relationship and saying that I feel like everything we do should be, in a sense, to glorify God. So if you guys are in a relationship, just going back to Wesley's devotion, is that it's always key for God to be in the center of everything, for God to be the main instrument in the relationship. So if you're in a relationship, you're dating someone, or you're dating a guy, you're dating a girl, just keep it in mind that God is in the center of it all, and it should be godly and it should be God glorifying. So whatever it is you guys do, if it's interaction, if it's talking, if it's just chilling together, just make sure that you guys are glorifying God through whatever it is that you guys are doing, and make sure you're also encouraging each other to grow in your relationship with God individually. And the next type of relationships I can talk about is your relationship with your friends and family. How are you pursuing a godly relationship with your friends and family? And this passage of scripture in First Peter chapter 4 kind of gives us this good understanding that how love is very key in us having a godly relationship. It says, above all, love each other deeply. Love covers over a multitude of sins. So are you guys loving each other in the relationships that you have? Are you loving your friends, your family, whoever it is that you're walking a journey with? Are you loving them? And I'm just reminded of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, which everybody knows is a piece of scripture that speaks on love. That love is kind, love is patient, there's so many things that it mentions on love. And I'd just like to encourage you guys to read that passage of scripture and just to do some reflection and think about the relationships that you are, if it is with someone else or if it's with your family, friends. Are you guys following, in a sense of, are you guys loving them the way Christ loved the church? I feel like there is a big importance in community and the relationship that you have with your friends or family, and especially in this Christian journey, it's always good to walk this journey with a couple of people. I was reading the other day Luke chapter 5, which speaks about at the bottom, Luke chapter 5, which speaks about there was when Jesus was preaching, and there was a moment in which these group of friends brought their paralyzed friend. So they carried their paralyzed friend. They were trying to get to Jesus so that Jesus can heal him, since they heard that Jesus was doing all these wonderful miracles. And anyway, they were trying to get to him, so they had some difficulty finding him, and eventually they found him. And long story short, I'm paraphrasing, is that he ended up being healed. And the moral of the story is that Jesus does do these wonderful things, but I've always looked at it from another perspective, is that it's his friends that led him, or that physically carried him to Jesus, which kind of highlights the importance of friendship, is that they can be able to lead you to God, and there's also some friendships that could lead you away from God. So just in light of that, is that having a godly relationship is that being able to lead your friends or family or the person that you're dating, whoever it is, towards God. Just in that Luke 5 scripture. So yeah, guys, just keep that in mind in terms of the relationships that you have. Is one, am I glorifying God with this? If it's your friends, your family, your loved ones, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, am I glorifying God with this? Number two, am I leading them to God? And yeah, I think that's what's important about a godly relationship. And a godly relationship is a relationship that you have with different types of people in your life. So with regards to the questions, the first question is, what does a godly relationship mean to you? And are you in one? So that's the first question. What does a godly relationship mean to you, and are you in one? The second question is, why is it so hard to follow the commandment of loving one another? I know this is one of the most important commands that Jesus says, is to love one another. And I know I've had difficulty with it so much. And I'm sure you guys too as well. So that's the second question. Why is it so difficult to love one another as we are commanded to do so? And question number three, usually it's more of a practical question. That's how I like doing things, is are there people in your lives? Are there people in your lives that you can be transparent with? And if not, maybe you should start going through your contacts. Remember, when you're in a community with people, it's always good to know what they're going through. It's always good to be transparent with. So are there people in your life that you are transparent with? Are there people in your life that you are leading that you're having a godly relationship with, that you're leading them to God? If not, maybe it's time to go through your WhatsApp contact lists, start naming them, and be like, hey, these group of 5 people, these group of 3 people are whom I'm in a relationship with, and yeah, I need to be leading them to God. I need to be glorifying God in my relationship with them. And yeah, guys, that is the third question. Other than that, we'll be back tomorrow with a sweet video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.